So I'm 50 years old, and I found out that I have ADHD. I have PTSD and possibly CTPSD, which is compound or something like that. And the similarities between autism and PTSD and CPTSD are very, very similar. And at this point, I don't care if it's autism or CPTSD or PTSD. I really don't care what it is. I'm just trying to figure out how to live with it and to regulate myself, and to, doesn't matter what was, what matters is what I'm trying to do about it. And I don't recall ever hearing anything about PTSD when I was a kid, but I've had PTSD since I was a child, and that's nobody's fault. It just is, and I accept it. It's part of me. It's who I am. I knew that I had a stress disorder. I knew that I knew that since I was 20. I've known that, and I would black out from this stress disorder and stuff. And I've told people that. I've been open about it. And but then I found out that I had PTSD for sure in 2013, whenever I went for some testing, educational testing. So they said that they could tell during this time and this time and this time, and they hit every target area of a major thing happening in my life that was so stressful. I didn't think I was going to make it past it, but here I was sitting there hearing them, and that's the only validation that I had ever gotten for that, was those ladies telling me that. And all I did was take a math test, and I took educational tests, and they said that they could tell I had a learning disability, but they didn't know specifically which one. I was like, well, I know I have dyslexia, and they're like, yeah, but it's not just that. And I just, as they were saying the things, and we could tell something major happened in your life here and here and here because you don't know this and that, I just started crying. It's the only validation that I've ever had that any of that stuff's even ever happened. I've been told that it didn't happen. I've been told that wasn't real. That was just my mind. I've been told there's no way I could know that. I've been told a lot of stuff. And I know what it feels like for the people that are supposed to love you to not love you, and I know how unlovable that makes you feel. And I never wanted to make anybody feel that way ever in my life, but I have. And it kills me that I've hurt people that I love and care about, and they don't know. Some of the people that I love and care about don't seem to know that I love them and care about them and how much. And I've tried really hard to make sure that everyone that I know knows that, because you know what, life is so short. Life is so short that we're not guaranteed anything. And I know what it's like to lose somebody that I love and that's really close to me and dear to me. And I know that pain, but I know that pain of losing someone that I love, that I felt so close to, that I felt understood me. But I'm losing that person, but they're not dying. They just, said they understood me when they really didn't. And, there's just so much. I'm super triggered, and I'm trying to work on all of my PTSD and do the EMDR and get better and get healthy and live right. And I'm learning a lot, and it's a lot to process. And I'm trying so hard. But sometimes with certain people, it just feels like it doesn't matter how hard I try. All they're going to ever see is my mistakes. So you know what? I don't really care what anybody sees when they look at me. I care what I see when I look at me. And what I see when I look at me is a fucking badass. I have made it through shit that your mind probably doesn't even think that people have to go through, or that do go through. I have been through things that are worse than some of the nightmares I have. I've been through some shit. And I can be really cold-hearted and closed off, closed-minded, shut down, distant. But when I love you with everything I have. And whenever you can't see that I love you, I don't know what to tell you. Because I guess I know how to love you the way that I know how to love the way that I have loved that I felt like didn't hurt anyone. Then it turns out I'm still hurting people with that way that I'm loving them. And I don't understand what to do. I rarely know what's right. I know what's right. I rarely know which way I'm supposed to go. What am I supposed to do? Like, no, I really don't care what the right thing. I care about what the right thing is. I can't say that. I know that I'm, hey, I'm not like everybody else. I don't always maybe I'm having an identity crisis or something like that because, I'm learning about myself and of all the stuff that I've learned, I'm not as bad as I've been told that I am, and I'm not a perfect mom. I'm not a perfect sister. I'm not a perfect daughter. I'm not a perfect anything. Okay, I'm not. I know that. But I accept myself the way I am for who I am. Just like, I'm trying to do that. Just like I would think that God would accept me. And I'm trying to do that with other people. And there's been times in my past where I have been hurt by someone. And the only way that I thought that I could get my point across about not being around that person or whatever, was to treat them the way that they treated me. And I felt so bad about it. Not that they were treating me that way and I was putting up with it, but that I was treating them the way they were treating me, and I didn't like the way that they were treating me. And it made me feel so horrible. It made me feel like such a terrible person. I felt so horrible about that. I lost sleep over it. But I have to accept that too, And I am doing my best. And I just look like this. Okay, you know what? I'm doing my best. This is me doing the best I can with the tools that I can use right now, that I can remember that I need to use, and all that stuff. I am who I am. When I really look at myself, really look at my eye to eye in the mirror, I like who I am. And I am proud of the person that I have become. And I feel like I know that God loves me, and I should love myself, or I can love myself. I can love myself. And that's okay. I can love myself with all my defects, and that's okay too. So be nice to you. Be nice to you every day. You are your own worst enemy. So you need to be nice to yourself, because that's what we all need to do. We need to be nice to ourselves. Being nice to others can help us be nicer to ourselves. Try that one on for size.